guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my coming out story. Now there are a couple reasons why I'm doing this video. One, because it's Pride Month. Two, because I'm out and proud. Bitch, proud. If this shirt doesn't tell you that I'm motherfucking proud, bitch, this rainbow ass motherfucking shirt, I don't know what the fuck will. And three, bitch, I just love talking about myself, so let's just get right to it. Alright, so let's start at the beginning. Bitch, honestly, growing up, I really did not know I was gay. Because I don't know about y'all, but I genuinely did not have crushes on anyone. I didn't really care about anyone. I minded my own business and I stayed in my own lane. I really didn't care about all that. Like, I'm being dead serious. I remember in elementary school, everyone was having crushes and I was out here talking about Mortal Kombat and the fucking Powerpuff Girls. Like, I really did not care about all that stuff. So it wasn't until the 6th grade that I started getting bullied for being gay, and honestly, at that point, I really didn't even know what the word gay meant, and I was out here getting bullied for it, and I really didn't understand it. It was two things that I got bullied for, honestly. It was that I acted like a girl, which basically meant that I acted feminine, and the fact that I was gay. And honestly, at the time, I didn't know what the gay was, so I was just like, okay, I mean, I don't know what this means, but okay, I'm gonna just roll with it. Y'all are making fun of me for being gay. Okay. Anyways, now obviously the bullying was very frustrating to go through because I honestly didn't understand where it was coming from. I didn't understand why groups of people were like attacking me and like coming towards me, saying all this negative stuff about me. And thankfully it wasn't like any physical harm. It was honestly just verbal stuff. But I feel like sometimes words can hurt more than fucking actions do. So yeah, that honestly hurt me a lot, which eventually leads me into getting to a very depressive and dark state of mind in the 7th grade. Also in the 7th grade, I remember people during this time period were like getting more sexual and like people were like getting more curious or whatever, and like they were just like, you know, trying to learn more about sex and like, you know, get into all that bullshit. And I remember watching gay porn and I was like, yup, I'm definitely still straight. Like, I would literally watch it and still be like, yeah, I'm still straight. What are you talking about? I'm straight. And it wasn't necessarily that I was in denial of the fact that I was gay. It was just that I wasn't 100% sure that I was gay and I didn't want to give myself that label. And then it wasn't until the 8th grade where I was definitely like, yup, I am definitely gay. Like, that was like my aha moment. And I was like, yup, this is it. This is who I am. This is what this is what it was meant to be, bitch. And then obviously, just like most gay kids, I obviously went through my period where I was definitely fearful of what people were thinking of me, and I feared what would people do if I came out to them. Like, all that BS was just like in my mind, and like it just made me very depressed, and I was very much so in a depressive mindset, and like it eventually led to me going into high school being super insecure. I ended up having an eating disorder, and then I just had super bad anxiety, and like it was just terrible because I was always fearful of what people were thinking of me. I was always like, oh my god, is that person staring at me because I'm gay? And like I would always hear things that would be like, oh my god, they're probably talking about me right now. And it was just like all that BS that's in my mind. And so yeah, so basically I dealt with severe anxiety and the super deep insecurities for about 2 or 3 years, and then junior year hit, and then I had this really dope English teacher, and I remember this one time we had to write a free write. And for you guys who don't know what a free write is, you basically like write about whatever the hell you want, like anything that comes to mind. So I wrote about how I was struggling with my identity and my sexuality, and I was worried about whether or not my friends would accept me. I wrote all that down in that little essay or whatever. Little did I know, she was right behind me the whole time reading everything I wrote. And then I remember she asked me if she tapped my shoulder, she asked me if I wanted to talk to her about it. I said no because I feel like I was very overwhelmed and I was literally about to cry, and I did not want to cry in front of my teacher because I feel like that would have been super embarrassing. So she left me alone for like the entire period. No, actually she didn't. She came by randomly, passes me a note, and on that note it says, and it's crazy because I still have this note, and I've graduated from high school like last year, and I've had this for about 2 or 3 years because this happened in junior year. I still have the note and I carried it for like the longest time, and I literally kept it in my book bag like throughout the rest of high school. So basically it says, your friends should love and accept you for you, that's why we call them friends. And bitch, isn't that, I thought that was really sweet. And I remember like after class she ended up giving me a hug. I actually went up to her and I was like, I said thank you for giving me the note, and she gave me a hug and she was like, oh, basically like a big sweet pep talk or whatever, and it was really sweet. And I feel like that really changed my life because after that moment I was like, why do I care about like these people's opinions? Like, at the end of the day, if I have friends in my life, they gotta accept me for who I am, and if they're not doing that, then they're not really my friends, you know what I mean? But yeah, after that whole moment I definitely feel like I was coming out of my shell a little little bit more, and like I wasn't necessarily out, like I never had a whole coming out moment, but during that time I feel like if anyone asked me, I didn't necessarily deny it, but I wasn't also going out and being like, hey, I'm gay, look, I'm gay. Like I wasn't doing all that, but I feel like if someone were to ask me or someone were to question my sexuality, I would have been like, hey, this is what I am, this is how it is. And then eventually going into senior year, I was super confident. I grew in a beard, bitch. I started working on myself both internally and externally, and I just felt good about myself. I ended up posting a YouTube video where I took a "Are you gay?" test or "How gay are you?" test or something off of BuzzFeed, and then my parents ended up finding out about that. And then there was that whole mess, which I briefly talked about in another video, which I'll link below, or like there'll be a pop-up somewhere here or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that happened, and then I dealt with that, and then they were like, how do I explain it? They weren't necessarily like, oh my god, get out of my house, or like, I'm gonna beat you right now. Like, they weren't like that type of thingy, and I'm grateful for that. But they definitely did not take it easily. Like, they didn't take it well. They found it hard to like deal with, and they were struggling with that. And so like the way I approached that whole situation was that like, you gotta deal with that. Your insecurities about my sexuality are on you. Like, I feel like they were definitely trying to take it out on me, saying how like, you know, that isn't real, being gay isn't real, you know, eventually you'll change in the future. And I was just like, release this. I've been waiting. Am I gonna change? Nope. So what you talking about? Yeah, they had their whole thing, and like now we're in a good place because they don't bother me about it. But yeah, and then eventually going into graduation, that's when I had my whole coming out moment, my big huge motherfucking coming out moment. I feel like it is definitely one of the most proudest moments of my life, and I still have the flag right there, and I'll insert a clip of what I'm talking about right here. And then after that whole moment, the only thing that changed in my life, honestly, was that I started feeling better about myself. Guys started hitting me up, boy, and I was just like, oh, hey, who are you? Hey, guys. But honestly, like, I'm being dead serious. Like, I remember before I even came out, no one would talk to me, no one would hit me up. And then after that whole thing happened, everyone wanted a piece of me, and I was here for it. Low-key. You know, like, everyone thinks that, like, before you come out, you're like, oh my god, my life is gonna change drastically. And, like, it really doesn't. The only thing that changes that is that you start feeling better about yourself. And then other people notice that about you, and they start liking that about you too. Like, once you start loving yourself, people who love you get attracted to you. Does that make sense? Like, you just start attracting good energy and good vibes and good people. And I feel like that was the best part, because I said best part. What the f? That was the best part, because now I feel like my support system is great. Like, I have amazing friends. I have like the people who watch me, my subscribers, my followers on my social medias. I feel like that was the best part, because people love you for being you. They don't love you for like the facade and like the secretive life that you have. They love you for being you. And I feel like that is where I'm at in my life right now. Like, I feel like, bitch, I'm doing me 100%. I am great. I am thriving, gay and proud. I am living my best life, honestly. And honestly, I am just super proud of myself, because it's hard being gay. Like, that is just a fact. That's not an opinion. It's like you really deal with severe insecurities, whether or not, you know, you have these fears whether or not people will accept you for you. You have these fears whether or not your life will ever be the same. And you know, you're just worried about your friends, your family, how it will affect them, how will it affect your own future. And, you know, I feel like now I'm at a point where like, I just don't care. If you don't like me, you don't have to deal with me. But yeah, like, I just don't care. Like, I am me, and I'm not gonna make any changes to myself just to make anyone else more comfortable. I don't care if you don't like my lifestyle. I don't care if you don't like me. I'm gonna do me 100%. And if you don't like that, peace. And so yeah, basically that is my whole coming out story, I guess. It wasn't necessarily like one story. It was kind of like a timeline, I guess, of my coming out story, because it wasn't just like one moment. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my next video that's coming up, bitch. And I'll see you guys in the next one.